t0inky TV, and I'm here to do a recap of episode number 19 of Emergency Couple. And I'm Changmin into the stairwell and says, listen to my heart, it's beating so fast, it is because of you. And so he's like, oh, I don't hear it, maybe the stethoscope is broken. She's like, no, it's not broken, listen. So he puts it in again, and then he's like, boink, boink, right onto her breast. So that was actually really, really cute. And that's what I enjoy about Emergency Couple. They put like some very cute scenes, kind of like quirky cute scenes in it as well. So this episode has a little bit more of a sexual kind of theme to it. The first part of it, well, of course, was the little boob stethoscope thing. Then you have these patients. The first one is a guy who's harassing Adam, and he's like, I want you to touch me like higher and higher on the leg, and like Adam's like, trying to do her doctor duties, and finally Changmin steps in and like basically he's like, this is my wife, I don't know what you're thinking, and the guy just hobbles out like totally embarrassed, and yeah, good for him. Then Jin-hyuk gets caught because Changmin's like, oh, you're not gonna ever have that problem, but she's like in front of the mirror and she's like, posing and all of that, and gets caught by Adam, and she knows what she's doing, like trying to pretend like being all sexy. But then Adam and Jin-hyuk have a very heart-to-heart talk and says, well, pretty much, I know I said for you to take care of Changmin, but Jin-hyuk's like, but I want to take care of it. And Clara or Adam is very, very aware and very mature about it, and she's like, at first teases Jin-hyuk, but then finally she's like, okay, she's like, you have nothing to worry about. And Jin-hyuk's like, okay, well, let's have a drink sometime, which I thought was really cool of Adam. Okay, then there is a husband-wife couple, like later on, where the wife feels like she's being harassed by Changmin because Changmin's like, well, I need to listen to your lungs, can you lift your dress? And she's like, it's a one piece, I'm not gonna lift it. And so then Changmin hurries to go get Jin-hyuk, and Jin-hyuk's having a problem because the guy, I guess it's the husband, has a huge problem with his private parts because the wife threw scalding hot water on it, and Changmin's like horrified by what he saw. And then Jin-hyuk's like, ugh. So it was kind of like a pretty funny, interesting episode with those little interactions. So then you see Changmin almost like run over a sexy woman in like red heels and a flower. I kind of felt like that was like, if that's Jin-hyuk trying to be sexy, it's not the sexiest look, but it definitely looks like she was trying, which is kind of like, you don't want to be trying too hard, but she got her point across. They went to have a cute dinner, and it was very playful. They were like, kind of like old times, I think, when they first started dating. And Changmin really wants Jin-hyuk to check and double check and recheck her feelings that, it's not just pity, but she really wants to have Changmin in her life again. Cut to a different scene, you have Chunsu and Jihae interacting. Chunsu's really devastated about the whole Jin-hyuk thing, and I think, maybe being suspended. He goes over to Jihae's, the rock in his world, and, he kind of just uses that friendship and just keeps going back to Jihae without realizing, he's counting on her so much. But she doesn't want to be the person to console him when, another woman rejects him. So it was kind of like a very touching, heartfelt moment, even though part of it was just in Jihae's imagination. And oh my gosh, I love baby Gook. I think that this baby, for whatever reason, is just the cutest baby, and the way they shoot like the film footage of the baby, it's just adorable. Like, you see him at his cutest, like he's always kind of like being suspended on one of those like baby carriers, and he's always like really big-eyed and always looking around, and then he's got like the most perfect baby hair ever. Like, whoever does his hair, props to you. And so Jin-hyuk, it wants Changmin to babysit baby Gook, and oh my gosh, it was the most hilarious thing. And of course, Changmin doesn't know what to do, so Jin-hyuk comes to the rescue, and they have like lots of fun. And they also have a pretty interesting talk about, why didn't they have a baby back in the day? They were too immature, and some of the difficulties that they ran into with their, just living life as a couple, married couple. So I think that they're just getting closer and closer together. Then Youngyu and Kwang-soo come to the house, one to drop off food and the other one to pick up the baby, but then they all have beers and like hang out and talk and chit chat, and then it's time to go, and the guys are like, okay, we're taking off, and Jin-hee's like, oh, I'm gonna go with you, and they're like, no, you have to stay because you're wearing, you know, Changmin's shirt, whatever that means. So you know that something's gonna happen because, you know, it's just kind of leading up to that. And so Changmin does a very manly thing, and he, you know, brings Jin-hee to bed and like, you know, make sure she's all covered up and whatever. But in the morning, it's like the most hilarious scene because, you know, Jin-hee's kind of waking up and then all of a sudden she like sees Changmin there. She screams, he screams, and then end. So yeah, I think that the last 2 episodes have been so much fun. I just feel like they really have been ramping up the whole romantic storyline between Jin-hee and Changmin, as well as like tying up loose ends of like, you know, past hurts and past wrongdoings and kind of like letting them both move forward. So I just really give props to the writers that they've been doing a good job in moving the storyline forward. So let me know what you think about this K-drama, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.